Hey guys, welcome back. I just want to do a quick video on my first impressions of the Colwell Custom Knife Works MVC. So this is the MVC. This is a beast of a knife. My wife saw it and said it looks like a knife Batman would carry, and I think that is an absolute accurate depiction of it. It looks like it's very tactical looking and very heavy duty looking with an awesome blade shape and overall just like a knife built to work. This is made by a guy named Colwell of Colwell Custom Knife Works. You can find him on Instagram. He also has a Facebook group, and he hand makes these knives, and they are truly, I'm shocked at the quality of these. He's a small maker. He kind of got his start with doing knife modding, specifically in the Emerson community, which I'm quite involved in. The Emerson community, and that's kind of how he got on my radar. He does po' boy conversions of Emerson knives, and he's now doing his own full custom knives, and he has two models. This was his first, the MVC, and then he also has a model called the Faction. I mentioned that this is an overbuilt huge knife. Let me give you some examples of that. Here is a PM3 next to it. Yeah, huge. Here is a PM2 next to it. Not even close. I actually brought out my Nooms on to show you that as well, because that's one of the bigger knives that I carry. Now this will be the biggest knife that I carry. Also, not even close. And then the biggest knife other than this one that I own is my Emerson Custom Patriot. And this knife still dwarfs that. It is about the same length, but as far as width and stock width, this knife is pretty significantly larger. Really cool knife. Let's see what the actual blade length is on this. So yeah, that's almost, I mean, the cutting edge is just under 4 inches. The whole blade length is 4 1/4. So it is a significantly large, overbuilt knife. So the reason that I'm doing this first impressions video right after getting it is because of the quality of this knife. You see these small knife makers that do everything by hand, and you kind of give them a little bit of leeway on quality, or at least I do. When you're working in a small workshop, you don't have CNC machines and blah blah blah, and not the most advanced technology. You're hand grinding things and all of this stuff. You expect a little bit of less tolerances. That is not the case with Colwell. This knife is basically almost perfect fit and finish. Everything fits really well together. Everything is quite well finished. It's not perfect. I'll go over a few things that I would change personally, but it is really just an absolutely excellent knife, and I'm extremely impressed. I have a lot of really nice knives that are the hype knives. I have an Arius that you've seen. I've got a Rosie. I've got some brown knives. I've owned many other brands. I've got CRKs, obviously, and this knife really fits up there with those like excellent tolerances. One of the things that you see in the knife community is when a knife is overbuilt, it can be an excuse for poorly built as well, because they just slap a bunch of material together and they make it usable by throwing more material at it, making the lock bar bigger, but it might not be centered, blah blah blah. This knife, on the other hand, it's a drop shut, as you can see, or a shake shut, perfectly centered. The action is excellent. It's more of a rollout knife because it's so big. I can flick it, but I don't think I can do it on camera. There we go. See, it flies out even. It's on washers, and the lockup is absolutely perfect. And you couldn't move this if you wanted to. I think, especially with the blade stock thickness and the handle thickness, you really would be hard pressed to even bend this. The steel he's using on these is a high carbon steel. It's A2, which he told me is quite similar to D2. I think it's a little bit easier to maintain, a little less chippy than D2. which, you know, that's not like in the world of steels, that's not like the super premium Magna Cut. We're kind of steel crazy right now, but it's an excellent steel and very maintainable. I sharpened this when I got it because I got it on the secondary market. There's a pretty good chip in the blade. I was aware of it when I made the deal, so it wasn't a big deal. And I did sharpen it, and it was really easy to sharpen. But you know, it's been holding an edge. I've used it a good bit now just to test it out and see how it is. And it took a screaming edge. This edge is scary. It is a shave sharp edge, and it did not take me long to get there. Another detail that I wanted to mention, well, while we're talking about the blade, let's talk about what the blade is. It's a chisel grind Tonto. The Tonto tip is the same length as a Tonto belly, and it's got this crazy kind of arrowhead shape. This is not sharpened up here. It is, you know, it's crowned but not sharpened. You're not going to cut yourself on that, but you will cut yourself on this zero grind blade. And one of the interesting things is the chisel grind is actually on the show side of the scale. Usually you see it on the opposite side, but it's on the show side of the scale, and it gives it this unique look. Another quality thing I wanted to mention on this is honestly this pocket clip might be the best or one of the very best pocket clips I've ever gotten on a knife. He makes these by hand. I asked him specifically, and he makes them. He either hand grinds them or mills them. He hand grinds them now. He milled them when he made this knife, and it is truly excellent. It goes in and out of the pocket perfectly. It looks great, perfect tension. I'm extremely impressed about this pocket clip. I love that it matches the shape of the handle, and it's just a piece of quality. He obviously puts his heart and soul into these knives. Another cool thing about this knife is the back spacer goes along the whole spine of the knife, and it gives us this really cool look. You've got different texturing, kind of a ribbing here and then slotted here, and then it matches up with the jimping on the blade, and that jimping is extremely functional. The biggest thing about this knife, and actually what Christian said specifically, is that the most important thing in knives is the ergonomics. Now this is, like I've said like 10 times, this is a big knife, but the ergos on this knife are built for your hand. This knife, if there was ever any working knife built, this would be it. The ergos for this knife, it's made for your hand. So there's a perfect spot for your pointer finger to sit in. There's a little indent for your middle finger to sit in perfectly, and then your two fingers come onto the back of this blade excellently, and it fills your palm. This knife was made for cutting tasks. It was made to be used, and it fits in the hand excellently. I did mention that there are some, you know, little things I would change. There's not much chamfering on this handle as it is. These edges can be a little bit sharp, but my understanding is that this is a really early version of the knife, and that he's made some updates, and that he's added a little more contouring and things like that. So this is, you know, like I said, an early version of this knife. The other thing is I'd add a little chamfering to this spidey hole. It does shave your fingernail a little bit when you're flicking it. But other than that, it's excellent. He has another model, like I said, the Faction, that he just came out recently in October. His books are currently open to have either a Faction or an MVC made, and I'm on his books for the next model, and the Faction is quite similar to this knife in some ways, but also different. It's got a different blade shape, similar size, a little bit smaller, but excellent ergos as well. It looks like I said, to him, ergos are extremely important, which I think is a really valuable thing in knives. Anyways, this is something just really unique that I wanted to show you guys and just kind of talk about for a minute, because I've never seen a video about it, and Christian Colwell is doing really cool stuff that's really unique, and I'm extremely excited about his knives. Like, it's just cool to see someone out there who's really passionate about their knives and kind of passionate about the design and not following the status quo of titanium drop point, which I love, by the way. One of my favorite knives ever is the FSDI, which is a titanium drop point knife. but rather kind of go into the beat of his own drum. He's really a star knife maker that is just passionate about his projects and really excellent. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video. I'll make sure to link Christian's stuff in the description. He's at a Facebook group and an Instagram. If you're interested in these knives, you should try to get on his books. Support a small knife maker. I love supporting small knife makers. They're the reason we innovate. So we being the knife industry. Anyways, let me know what your favorite overbuilt knife is. This is definitely my favorite overbuilt knife now. I'm stoked on it. It's going to be in my pocket a lot, even though it's very large for me. I'm not a very big guy, but I'm going to be carrying this a lot. I really enjoy it. And I hope you have an excellent day, and thanks for watching this video.